All right, what's good, y'all? So we're gonna go straight into it. I'm gonna off these comments real quick so that we can get straight into it. All right. So we're doing deprogramming. So I can't put up a comment if the comments are off. Damn. All right, it's cool. So, we're gonna be talking about deprogramming, and I'm gonna lay this here because this is where I want it to be. I want people to be able to come back to this and we can have this deprogramming conversation. So, deprogramming. First, the word deprogramming has a prefix, the DE, and that DE is to reduce, as in the same word degrade, right? So to deprogram means to reduce or to remove programming. So we want to move into the understanding of, sorry, I'm live. So we want to get to the understanding of program and what it is to program, because we know programming from external. We know it from an observation basis. Look at computers, look at apps, video games, websites. We can see the concept of programming in that way. But when we actually observe the human mind and we understand how the mind operates on a habitual basis, then we can see how they have derived the concept of programming from the human architecture. Okay? So to deprogram really means, I got some dictionary definitions here. They're not dictionary, they're Google definitions, okay? So these definitions, if you listen to what I'm saying, you're gonna see exactly the same thing on Google, but that's what they put there for us to observe for this word. So if you look in another dictionary, I'm sure that the definitions will vary, but they're all gonna be illustrating the same image in mind in the words, all right? So to provide coded instructions for an automatic task or performance, an automatic task or performance, to input into a computer or other machine, to input, to behave in a predetermined way. So for example, if you open up your computer and you open up Chrome, sometimes if you just close Chrome, it's going to say, hey, do you want to reopen all the tabs that you last closed? The program is operating on a basis of illustrating the user, helping the user resume whatever they were last doing. So that is the way the program works. It works every single time and it works automatically. So to deprogram something is to understand the code and understand the context of the instructions. So that's pretty much, you want to know what is being told. Okay, and I'm going to use an illustration here, an analogy of pen, paper, and ink, because these three things is writing. And it shows you exactly the process of programming, at least when it comes to the human architecture, because I'm not here to talk to y'all about apps and websites, okay? I'm here to talk to you about how to understand who you are and how you become who you are. But this is only about understanding the program that has been in front of your eyes, into your ears, for you to absorb. And the thing about programming is that to make something habitual and automatic, like this definition is illustrating, you need to perform these tasks in a habitual form, meaning like over and over and over, like repeat it. So like the easiest way to get started with this, and this is just for anyone who's walking with us in this conversation, just think about the things that you do and you don't want to not do. Like just things that you do and you just don't want to not do. Like I really enjoy having wine right before my food, like things like that, little things. These things allow you to see different forms of yourself and different versions of your ego. And based on the desire, you can understand who's being in charge at that moment. You understand? So let's continue. I want to talk to you about brands and also how brands have been able to program people. But the purpose is for immediate recognition. Okay, so if you see a brand, the first thing that you see that allows you to know that you're looking at a brand is what? The logo. You feel me? The logo is a symbol, and the symbol has particular things that the brand owner or business owner has placed inside the logo for immediate recognition. So if you see an arrow from A to Z, you already know we're talking Amazon, because people have seen that logo over and over and over and over, and you know that if you see that, it looks like a smile now. You know what I'm saying? Because we've seen it over and over and over. So the word brand, right, in another context is utilized to label animals. So if you take your mind back and cast your mind back to other times, you'll be able to see that in order for a farmer or a livestock owner to manage his crop, he would brand the cows or the cattle, because the brand allows him to know which one is which, who it belongs to, and things of that nature. So a lot of us have images that are branded in our minds because the brand actually reflects the owner, because that is the same context and the same analysis of a brand on an animal. When you see it, you see the letters, you see the number, maybe a symbol, and it might say D92TX, and that's Dulles 92 Texas. That's my cow. You know what I'm saying? That's how they would do it. So when we understand brands in this time, we're illustrating that same context on a higher frequency, except it's in a frequency of immediate recognition. And so, for example, if you see a Maserati on the street or on a commercial, you know it immediately by what? By the way it makes you feel, because brands don't normally just target your visual. They target your psychology, so that also is the colors, that also is the way that it feels, that also the way that it's portrayed. The feeling is portrayed by the image. If you haven't noticed, an image is worth 1,000 words, so how many words in a video? So that is encapsulating a feeling to immerse you in. And it's not something that we want to like harp on too much. I just want to speak that part so that we can understand how we have been programmed, so that we can see the process that it was, like how they did it, and what did they need to do it, how long did it take, you know. And these things are really helpful, because when you're aware of the programs running your mind, you'll be able to install new programs, you'll be able to uninstall programs. The same way you click and hold on an app and uninstall it, the same way you hold your focus on an old character trait or an old belief pattern, and you click that X at the top right, you hit that delete, and that shit gone. You feel me? So it takes some time, because there's sediments. Okay, so let's say you get rid of a belief, there might be some sediments you got to go back in there and clean up. But let's continue. So I want to talk about input real quick. Input. Have y'all ever heard the saying garbage in, garbage out? Because I've heard that before, and I want to derive the sense from it, because a lot of times we do not recognize our own innate abilities when we live in. So what does that mean? That means that we do not derive essence from the things that we hear and see, because we take this and we just say, oh yeah, garbage in, garbage out. True. Yep. Hear bad stuff, you're going to speak bad stuff. And that's a one way to see it. But the truth understanding is we are always inscribing into the subconscious. So anything that you not subscribe, but anything that you write in a regular word, right? Anything that you write, you will read, in the sense that you put it in, it will come out. So it's the same sense of a farmer who's farming and planting seeds, and he plants a tomato seed. There's no doubt in the mind. There's nothing about what's going to come out of there besides tomato. And that is the same illustration of garbage in, garbage out. It's illustrating programming. It's illustrating that whatever you insert and open, you're going to see what you inserted. So if I write a file on my computer, title it David, and I title it first name, last name, and then I save it, what do you think is going to be in there when I open it? The same exact thing I wrote when I written it, I guess, if that's the language. But anyways, so let's continue. Because I was illustrating earlier, the program, right, always leaves remnants of the programmer. So when I look inside my mind and I think about the things that I've been taught, I think about who taught them and who is illustrating that story. It's very simple. So you don't have to really go anywhere or ask anybody of anything. You can literally just look and think into your own mind. So actually, let's do that real quick. And I think I have another electronic right here that I'm about to grab, because I want to play this audio and I want to see who knows exactly what this is. And I'm going to show you step by step how to understand your own mind. And it's going to happen right now. So let me know if you hear this. Hold up. I got to turn this other one off. All right. Now I'm doing a little bit much. Hold up. All right. So what is this? Okay. Come on, Wi-Fi. You here with us. You here. Y'all hear that? What was that? Anybody can tell me? I'm gonna assume that y'all the highest vibrationals out here, so I know that y'all heard what that was, because I know the comments are off. So that right there was the theme song to SpongeBob SquarePants, and you would have to have heard SpongeBob SquarePants. Oh, I see the hearts. So I know y'all with it. So y'all heard that, right? You would have had to have heard that sound. You have had to have heard that theme song time in and time out until you remembered it. But the reason why you were able to remember it is not because you tried to. It's because that is what the mind do. You understand? So when you inscribe something into the mind repetitive time, over and over and over and over and over, it becomes known and knowledgeable in the realm of the subconscious. So if anything reflects that, the subconscious is easily going to just say, I know exactly, right? So this is the interaction of exchange with programming. It's input and it's output. So how do you put something out? Well, you have to have a symbol to recognize. So that's the reason why I played that sound right now. Nobody was thinking about SpongeBob. Nobody was thinking about SpongeBob. Y'all was thinking about COVID ice creams with 2 scoops of face mask. That's what y'all was thinking about. That's what y'all been thinking about, because that's what the whole world has been thinking about. And then after, the COVID ice cream, we had a little bit of I didn't create no rhyming words for riot and protest, so y'all gonna have to, y'all can't laugh as much about, that part. But anyways, that is what the mind has been accepting. So the reason why I'm showing you this is because if you are aware that you just remembered SpongeBob, then think about the things that you've been seeing that you're not paying attention to. Think about the things that you're allowing yourself to see that you're not paying attention to, because all of those things are going to be stored in the attic of the mind. That's the facts. That's the facts. And that's why we consider ourselves to be the gardeners of the mind. Because if you watch a video and this video is inscribing negative thoughts of fear, then when you go back in there, you're going to have those same feelings. So that's like a weed in my garden. And I don't fucking grow weeds. I don't. So I grow other things. I grow things of prosperity. I grow things of joy. I grow things of love. I grow things of clarity and true sense. So I don't have no weeds. I don't grow them. I don't nurture them. I don't nourish those. So I pluck those bad boys right out. They got to go straight up. And those are negative programs. And that's an easy way to overlook yourself and know what these programs are. So I gave y'all some breakdown, some insight on deprogramming, right? So let's think about how to actually do that, because somebody out here is like, yeah, I already deprogrammed myself, so I'm good. But I appreciate that because this is just a reminder for those who have never. This is just a reminder for those who have heard it, and this is a wake-up call for those who have never heard it. So anyways, there's another saying that I want to get into real quick before we go into the next step, and that saying is money does not grow on trees. Money does not grow on trees. And I want us to really think about that for a second, because we were told this. So that means there's a send. Someone sent this message. So I want to know who wrote this message, because I want to know where their mind is, because I need to know who said it so I know how to think about that, because it's a false statement, but it is true. Because it is true that money don't grow on trees because they print money. That's what they really do. But then the other side of this conversation, or the other side of this statement, is that they sell the mango that grows off the tree. So if money grows on trees, I would say yes, because y'all be selling me the fucking mangoes for $1.99. But if it didn't grow on trees, then why am I paying for the mango? Okay, so you have to understand that we have to take the essence of stuff and not just the surface level, because the surface level is normally a distraction and it's normally a bad piece of code. You understand? Like if you take that and run with it, you're not going to get far, because you're not going to understand that energy needs to be cultivated. And that is the essence that you get from having trees. You cultivate the energy. Like you water the trees. You make sure to get sunlight. Okay, let me repot, put it in here. Okay, now we can put it in the ground. It's focus and attention. And that's exactly business. That's a business, literally. Because I don't want to go too far in dollars and numbers right now. But it's the reason why a lot of people don't start businesses, because they don't know how to manage energy. But energy is managed in that way. That's why money does grow on trees. Because if I were to buy 50 trees with $200, right? And I get a harvest next year, how much would I get back if I put in 200? Wait a year, how much would I get back? They sell mangoes. I bought some mangoes yesterday. So I know I'm not tripping about that. And I know we should be doing some different, because we need to have, I don't even want to talk about money that much, but we'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, so you want to understand the programmer in the process of understanding the lines of code, because people have to realize that they say things like that to throw people off from what it really is. But all you have to do is stand still and look at what is being presented. You don't even have to go read nothing else, because they tell on themselves in the same sentence in which they say a statement. They do it every time. So you have to actually understand how to read between the lines, really. Like it's a skill. And I'll give you a word: substance. Sub is a prefix that means under, and stance is equivalent to standing. So whatever is presented in front of you, you want to have the understanding of the substance. What is standing underneath that? You understand? And that is the clarity that brings people into just that aspect of how can I derive knowledge from this. But let's continue, because I want to take y'all to one other thing right here where we're going to explore the paper, because I told y'all we're going to talk about paper, pen, and ink. So this next step is going to take us towards understanding the paper. So I want to ask you this question, and I know there's no comments enabled, but I want you to think about this for a second. So where were you on your last birthday or Earth Day or solar return? Where were you on your last birthday celebration? Didn't even need to be celebrated. Where were you? Maybe your birthday was 2 months ago. Where were you? Got it? Your last birthday. It wasn't with me, so stop smiling. So now, let me stop. But look, so if you just went there, you just time traveled. You just literally used your mind, your consciousness. You moved into an experience of your own past, and you were just there right now. Because if I were to ask you, when were you thinking about that? You weren't thinking about that from last year or 2019. You were thinking about that from right now, 2020, today, whatever today is. You understand? So in that same understanding, I'm showing you that the inventory or the rooms in your house are still there. You have to choose to explore them. And a lot of us have things in our homes that are not useful. And it's the same exact thing, like on a physical level, it's the same exact thing on a spiritual level. You go inside some of your rooms in the house, y'all have things that y'all don't use, have dust, you know you're not going to use because it's still dusty, you never thought about it. So in the same understanding, we have old patterns, old behaviors, old traits that are lingering inside of our mind. The only way we're going to be able to clean out those rooms is if we walk into those rooms and see what's in these rooms. See if I need anything from this room. If not, I need to be able to use action and quickly dispose of it and not think about doing that another time, because think about doing that another time is pushing something into the forward, you know what I'm saying? But you're not being with it in the now. So you have to be mindful of that. So now all of that breakdown introduction, I want to illustrate some of the things that society has programmed us with. So I talked about the COVID ice cream because everybody got 2 scoops of face mask, right? I'll be forgetting my face mask because I don't want to remember, okay? So I'm not going to try and go back into my subconscious later on and say, why am I wearing a mask here? So I'd rather them remind me, and then I pull it out of my car real quick. You feel me? So anyways, so what has society programmed us with? Well, I don't want to make this conversation too deep because this is going to be just an intro. I just want to break down programming and get into the etymology. We can go into the etymology, but get into the definition and the understanding that we can have just from the concept. So we have to see that first, we are not taught and trained how to manage energy like I was illustrating earlier. But that is because our information has come through a pipeline that had that in mind. Don't teach them how to manage energy. You understand? And I'm about to actually take 2 seconds to put my music back on because that was a vibe. And then I got super into this. Hold up. This shit is live. Hold up. This shit is live. This shit is live, auntie. Go tell your auntie, chill out. This shit is live. All right, bet. So we good. So yeah. So, what are the things that society has programmed us with? Well, we have to understand that first. How is TV programs? How is your TV program? See, the word is right in front of us. We have TVs in our home, and the television has television programming. Television programming. And I'm going to have this conversation again. I honestly, truly, from the bottom of my heart, really just want to express what I've articulated for myself to see on this paper. And then I also wanted to hear what I could formulate with my mind. And then I want to create a visual. So it's going to be redone, but I just wanted to say that for myself. But yeah, because if we understand that the television is television programming, then we should understand that as we watch these images, they are being inscribed into our mind, into our paper, in the same sense of the subconscious. So the reason why we see things happening in movies is because they told us what was going to happen in the movie. And now we see it happening because they told us it was going to happen. So we are the ones creating this because we create the word. I'll keep saying it until I can't because I know what's real and I'm just going to say that. So we create the word because, for example, programming would say, you know, the word cool means slightly below room temperature or slightly below warm, right? Black people didn't say okay. We didn't say okay. We said, nah, cool means I'm chilling. And chilling means I'm relaxing. You understand? So we reprogram ourselves already. I'm just saying that so anybody who is doubting their power would know that we use it on accident. For real. So let's start using it on purpose. You understand? So the things that society has programmed us with has normally come through the opportunities of senses. So we have had to see something. We have had to hear something in order to cultivate these beliefs and understandings. The Bible, the Bible says, faith comes from hearing, right? But we understand that faith comes from hearing not just from the word, but we see it every day, because they say in business, the best thing in marketing is word of mouth. Word of mouth. Think about it. Think about it. Think about what happens when you tell somebody an idea that someone else is doing and they think they want to go there. You just told them, they believed you. Faith comes from hearing. Faith is belief. Okay? So they have told us a lot of things and we have just believed them. And I'm talking about they. When I say they, I'm talking about anyone who's not speaking and uplifting people for the presence and for the power of them that lives within them. Okay? Because if there's anything else going on, then I'm trying to finesse you. And a lot of finesse goes on in this reality, because the people who are running this shit don't care about the human spirit. They don't. They care about them numbers and how they look. So we got to really get an awareness of what it means to have your power, what it means to be a child of God, what it means. What does that even mean? Because there's programs there too, but we got to reprogram ourselves so that we could be the best version that we could possibly be, because nobody's going to do the programming for you. But they will do the programming against you. They will. They will. They will. They will, bro. They won't program you to be the best you, but they'll program you to be against you. And that's called self-hate. And that's a program running every day. People might see my hair and say, I don't see why his hair should look like that. What's wrong with him? Because they don't see their hair in themselves to look like anything. That's why they don't have none. So they think because I'm doing something, you got to be doing something. And if you're not doing what I'm doing, you're wrong. That's self-hate, because it's not acceptance. You're not understanding that. But I don't want to go too much into that, because I want to talk about more of what society has programmed us with. So, like I was illustrating, they utilize something called the television. Tells lies to your vision. Tell lie vision. It's really right there. And the funny part is this. The programs that they put on television make us feel fear. They make us feel fear. And what happens when your body feels fear is that your body, which is a habitual system, it releases cortisol, which is a stress hormone. And the brain is used to releasing stress cortisol. So now the brain is used to releasing this. So what happens if you don't release it? Well, you're looking for the stimulation that caused you to release it in the first place. This is why they created a term called fear porn. And they associate it with the news sometimes, because they say fear porn is a type of video that is used fear from the viewer. You understand? So you got to be mindful about what's being streamed. This is called the principalities of the air. That's what this is called. That's what they call themselves. Well, that's what the Bible illustrates them to be. The principalities of the air, because they control vibration. It's not because they control wind. Nah, not that. It's the sound that's coming through your phone speakers right now. That's what they control. But not at the same time I'm talking to you right now. But when I say they control, it's like when you turn on your TV, you see what they're saying. When you turn on the news, you see what they're saying. When you go to the grocery store, you feel what the news is saying, because the news told them to, and it's mass time. So when I say they control the air, they control the sound of people's mind, because they control the word that people accept into their heart, because they control the pen, the ink, and the paper. That's why I keep reminding us that we create the word. So another thing that society has programmed us with is food. They have programmed us to see the concept of food. Because if you ask a question and say, in their slave stories, how were they feeding the slaves on the boats? What foods were they eating themselves? You understand? Because if they were eating garbage foods themselves, then they would not have nutrition to share with anyone. So if we're taking upon ourselves the elements of that story, we're going to walk with that story for some time and see, then we would know that we were never taught to eat for the benefit of health. And that's the reason why they have been able to study and document the process of healing people, which is the medical industry. See, slavery is the biggest business. It's the biggest business. And it's probably the biggest business that work in any type of currency, because people don't even know themselves at the same stance that they're standing on. So it's not about the money. It's about identity. Who do you think you are? Because they took that first. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the bread. It's not about if I can buy some cars today or buy whatever the fuck. Really not about that. It trickles down into that because it started first with self. You feel me? And the way they were able to do that is by showing us these TVs. So another thing I want to speak more about is the food, because wow, the food one is a big one. and I don't really know how to even tackle it, but I know that I'm making this live, so I'm gonna come back to that. But for example, let's just go into the aspects of being sick or finding sickness, okay? Because if you ever read the book, or if you're writing anything down, you should write down The Body Electric. The Body Electric is a really good book that talks about vibration, electricity, and frequency. So it breaks down also the different frequencies that the body operates at and the different frequencies of each organ. So one thing I understood from taking in some of that information was when we have experiences of different illnesses or different sicknesses, our body reduces in frequency. And that's the only reason why we're able to actually receive those ailments. So if our body's at a high frequency, it's actually next to not possible for someone to like spike into such a low frequency in a random way. So the reason why I'm saying this is because on the television they promote foods that actually reduce the frequency. Breads, cheeses, milks, starch, all of these things slow down the blood. They don't allow for the blood to have more oxygen because they're not oxygenating the body and they're not hydrating the body. So this is the reason why I've started moving my life towards plant-based foods. It's not because I wanted to join some crew. It's because I wanted to do what was good for my soul. I knew that before I even started it because I had a teacher, Dr. Aris Latham. And before Dr. Aris Latham, I was already reading books and I was already watching videos. So when I went to Costa Rica, it was by my surprise that the universe had aligned me to meet Dr. Aris, because I was just going out there. I was just selling products on the internet. I was running my online stores and I was just exploring life, really. And I met him, and at the time he needed to convert his website to what he's using right now. And I mean, I was just honored to actually be there because he was the only black person that I saw when I was out there. Well, I can't say only black person, but he was the only black man like I talked to, you feel me, like I really connected with. And you can just go to his website right now, sunfired.com, and you'll see that there's a lot of exploration in food that we don't see, but they're not going to show that. That's what you have to understand. They're not going to show that because that does not assist them in their actual practice. What are they doing? What is their plan? Their plan is to oppress and to dominate, in the sense of taking away identity, taking away resources, and then everything else that falls underneath that. So when you start to put things back into place, I have not been able to process these type of thoughts at that other state. The other state where I was going to the McDonald's and I was ordering double chicken. What the fuck was I ordering? I was ordering a double quarter pounder with no pickles and no onions. I'm crazy. I swear, like, I wouldn't even, look at my skin glowing right now. I had pimples in another time frame. Like, my skin was screaming in another time frame. This shit glowing right now. You feel me? Hey, but for real, like, I used to ask them to remove the veggies. I used to go to the McDonald's, toxic food place. I used to be there, and I used to ask them to remove all the veggies. That shit don't even make sense. Y'all see what I'm doing right now in my life? That shit don't even make sense. Like, I was actually doing that, bro. And I'm proud to say it. Shit, like, I was following the script, and I was easily able to open my code, and I see my programs, and I'm like, bro, I always thought that I would throw up when I ate a banana. How come I'm not throwing up right now? I just ate a banana fresh from Costa Rica. I calculated my relationship with food came also from the distortion of food. You feel me? Because food doesn't even grow on trees. Like, they grow, I mean, they have their artificial trees and things like this, but they do too much in correlation with the food or the fruits that you'll find shopping in another country, Costa Rica, or even Ghana. Ghana has amazing fruits there too, because I went to Ghana right after Costa Rica. But yeah, so that is one program that we have to overstand. It's the food program, because I know for women, honestly, especially women I've dealt with, it's not very easy for them to like put themselves into a box. And I don't even suggest boxes because I don't live in one either. But I do suggest becoming aware of the vibration of the foods you consume, and also becoming aware and intentional about healing your body through food. Because if you take those two things, every other choice you make will be fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, people be too hard on themselves. Like, that is a voice that we need to simmer down. The voice that we beat up ourselves with. You understand? So we don't really need more of that, but the discipline comes in from understanding. And I feel that if people have the understanding of vibrational foods, which is not shown on no TV, they've never promoted a salad, and they don't sell fruits on commercials. Facts. So everything they sell is processed, man-made, and acidic, highly. That's what they promote, because that assists the next industry, which is the medical industry. So the the programming also in the medical area is that an individual cannot be aware of their own health, and that is next to a lie, because Dr. Aris Latham, he's been plant-based for 50 years, and when I was in Costa Rica, he was running longer than me. Like my lungs needed some help, and his lungs were good. He's 70 years old. He's over 70 years old. I think he's 72 now. I think it's been 2 years since I was there. And when you have that in mind, like, you cannot not check yourself, because that is a process of becoming aware of your program. Is literally asking yourself, why do I do this, and why am I still doing it? When did I start doing this? What's the reason I do this? And if you don't really have a reason, you just have to find it. You know what I'm saying? It's not that you have to stop doing whatever you do. You just have to find purpose behind what you do. But yeah, so those are the two things I wanted to speak on right there. Another thing that they illustrate to us is how men and women behave. They have programmed us to illustrate how they think we should behave based on I don't even know what it's based on, and it just stems from the music industry and how the music is created and what the music is created for. If we do some research, we could see in I think it's 1986. I'm gonna double check, but the British Standard Institute they changed the frequency of music that's being played, and I would like for everybody to do research on that if you're interested in understanding the audio way of programming. But it's from the images. So when you watch a music video and you see certain things going on, and I'm not gonna get too discreet because I don't feel like going all the way there today. But yeah, and this video is almost over too, because I wanted to break down this deprogramming for you guys. But yeah, in the music industry, you can just understand how people are shown to spend money. For example, people are shown a specific way to spend money. You're supposed to get rich and floss. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what they show. So if I never watch anything else, I don't have no role models, no leaders, no anyone to listen to, or no insight for myself, for my own soul, because I don't ask inside, then I'm going to get some money and flex, because that's what I'm shown. You understand? But that's the program. So we have to understand the overstand. The overstand is that when you receive a program, you do not have to execute it. You do not have to execute it. You do not. You understand? And even the programs that you execute on a regular basis, like, for example, I know some people who say, yeah, can we go to the grocery store real quick, because I want to get some wine before the food's ready. I'm like, why you want to get some wine before the food's ready? Well, I just like to have my food with wine. And I'm like, well, why do you like to do that? Well, I've just been doing it. I really like it. You know what I'm saying? That's the breakdown. They just do because they've been doing. And then it can be taken in another context. It can be taken to smoking. It can be taken to this or that or this or that. But it's all about you understanding why you're doing what you're doing and finding out why. Because the purpose behind understanding why allows you to redirect that energy to new purpose. So the reason why I'm making this video right now, and I told myself that I'm going to take the time to make this video, is because I have a pattern of not making these videos. I be talking this shit all the time. And I be talking this shit all the time. I need a mic on me, bro. Like, straight up. I don't know anything else but this. I don't know anything else but this knowledge, bro. I don't know nothing else. I know nothing. Straight up. So yeah, family, that was a breakdown on programming, okay? And I gave y'all two examples of how they program us by showing us the way of using money, all right? And then the second way of also showing us what is considered food and how that actually affects us, they don't talk about. So we have to understand why the body even gets sick, because we're not born from the Most High to be sick. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't really compute to my brain. I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I have a different creator then, because I know I'm created, and I know I'm here right now, bitch. I'm healthy. So whatever you got to give me, better help my health. Better help my health, bitch. I don't want it. You feel me? But yeah, I'm just playing with y'all. But at the same time, I'm really serious, because I have to play and be serious, or else I can't do my work. Straight up. That's me. But I'm learning my own program so I can really code this, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because this is one of the best cars, bro. And I know you over there too, looking at me right now. You got one of the best cars. You got one of the best cars. If you tap into this frequency right now, oh, your shit on 1,000. Straight up. Straight up. So anything I can do, you can do better. You dig? So, oh yeah, I also want to say, speak your word. Speak your word. Speak your word. And speak it to your best. And watch it stand the test. You dig? So, with that being said, y'all, did I want to say anything else about this? Okay, so let me cover up the pen, paper, and the ink real quick before we close and save this video. You dig? So, the paper is representing your subconscious mind, okay? The pen is representing the conscious thought, And the conscious thought has to be broken down into a sense for you to accept it. So it has to be video, has to be audio, something of that nature. You have to see it, it has to be a symbol, right? And the ink is the content of the thought itself. Wait, did I say that backwards? No, I didn't say that backwards. So the paper is a subconscious mind, right? So I wish I just had a third hand. Look, I wish I just had a third hand. Wait, yeah. So once I had a third hand so I could just show y'all, but so if I have a blank sheet of paper, right? Imagine a blank baby, right? Actually, I'm gonna go here real quick before I talk about the baby, right? Y'all remember in class, high school, maybe you're probably like 30 or maybe you're 20, maybe like high school, where they had the projectors? Not like the digital projectors, the paper projectors, not paper, but the plastic film projectors. You remember those? The projector was only able to be shown on the screen if the screen was present. You remember how like they had a big old black chalkboard, they couldn't really show shit until they pulled it down, and then you could see, oh, I see what she's talking about. You know what I'm saying? The reason I'm bringing this illustration is because the projector is the conscious. It's the conscious thought. It's the pen, right? But what's on the projector is the ink, okay? The film, what's inside the plastic, those black letters, that is the ink, okay? And the paper is I'm gonna do this all over again in a whole visual, so this shit gonna snap. I swear, this shit gonna bang so hard. People gonna unbox themselves tonight after they watch this. But anyways, so yeah, the subconscious mind is the wall or the tray. What is that thing called? The board that is pulled down, okay? When they pull down the board and they shine the light on the board, you can read what's on the film. All right, so now take your mind back a little bit, cast your mind back a little bit, relax a little bit, and think about a movie reel, right? A movie reel is the same thing. They project the light, they have images flying through the light, and the images are produced on the screen. And then that screen is being shown on another screen, which is your mind. Your mind is observing the screen showing the film. So that is a process of watching a movie. But the same sense is the same way they write thoughts into our subconscious mind. They use the same strategies. That's why I'm bringing y'all this illustration. Paper, pen, and ink. So now, why y'all might be saying, why paper, pen, and ink? Is there anything else? Of course there's something else. There's always more. That's why you want to ask, what is the substance? Always ask that. Always ask that. I'm not trying to be nobody's teacher. I want to teach people how to teach and teach them how to learn too. You understand? Because that is the ultimate stance. You understand? You can always learn. You can always teach. So the reason why I made it paper, pen, and ink is because that's how I write into my own subconscious mind. Everybody does this on a regular basis. Y'all ever heard of like gratitude journal or daily journal? You're recording things, right? So if I have one of my books, I'll open them right now. I got like, I don't know, a couple books that I've written, what I'm grateful for. I'm taking stock of the whole universe. I'm grateful for everything. My shit spins, you feel me? My shit bang. Everything just goes good for me, you know? So I write them down. And the funny thing is, when I keep writing them down, things go better for me over and over and over and over. So before we end this, right, I want to give you the closure and the awareness to know that you can claim your safety in God right now. The God that you are, the God that's living in you right now, the essence of spirit that is breathing you right now. That is exactly the power is with you. And I want you to know that you are safe in this power, and you can use this power, because the same way that others might program you to do what they want you to do is the same exact way that you program yourself to do what you truly want to do. So you have to become the author in those shoes. You have to become the author of the word in that way. You understand? So that is deprogramming right there in a nutshell. That is the aspects of deprogramming. This is just raw material. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna say I appreciate everyone's time. I appreciate everyone who viewed this. I appreciate everyone who spent the time to tap in with me on this frequency and to learn these insights here. I'm gonna go ahead and hold on, what's this? Oh, Enchanted Hive, you're so much welcome. I was gonna open up the comments real quick, but I really just want to save this so that I can have it on the page, to be honest, because I really wanted to put this together, and I just like I want to do that. So that being said, y'all, I really appreciate y'all time. I really appreciate y'all viewing this. I hope this edifies you. I hope this gives you some tools. I hope it gives you some clarity, some insight, and just some more substance. You know what I'm saying? Just light, the light in itself. You feel me? Like just watching this right now, you didn't already associate yourself with a higher frequency, unless you're higher than this. Then type into the live. You know what I'm saying? Let's take it to another level. But and I know that this energy is going to be used in your reality for great goods. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, y'all, I really appreciate you. I appreciate your time. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate your attention here. And I hope you got more than what you gave in the sense of time and, you know, sacrificing and things like that. Like that. Let me go ahead and give y'all some smile though, because, you know, I'll be shining all the time, you feel me? And I just want to do that some more, you dig? So with that being said, y'all, I'm going to tap in with y'all later. You feel me? I appreciate everybody who came in. Oh, let me make sure I save this jump. Download video, because y'all know Instagram be doing some shit. All right. Okay. Error? I swear I can't make this shit up, bro. I cannot. Error! I cannot make this shit up, bro. I was thinking about this shit. Like, is it gonna let me save it again like last time or not? Yeah, this shit is hilarious, bro. Now I feel like getting off. I just got off over here. I can't even save the bitch. What? Man, y'all gotta stop. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna tell you guys about a platform that I have put together already, because I don't trust these hoes. Okay? So you wanna find a link in the bio. It's gonna take you to an app. And this app we're gonna be using to stream future insights and downloads like this. Mainly because we can have a group conversation, and it's not gonna be like y'all eavesdropping on a conversation, but we're having a conversation. Everyone has mic access, everybody has video access. And I feel like that's like, you know, 10 times or 100 times better, to be honest. So let's just keep it a buck. Yeah, link in the bio. Send me a DM. I'll send you an invite. But that was a good place to plug that, because I run so many things right now. I don't even plug myself. I'm the universal plug so much, I don't even plug myself. God damn it. Anyways, now I'm really gonna be gone, because there's some yellow squash downstairs. Spaghetti squash, that's what it's called. And I really want to see what I'm gonna do with this junk, because I got some red onions, spaghetti squash, got some black rice or quinoa. And I'm trying to see maybe if I go with the rice, or I do like some type of, you know, vegan tortilla little thing, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, we're gonna find out in a minute. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna tap in with y'all soon. Hopefully this video gets saved. If not, I'll run it back, because I'm the walking bank at this point. You feel me? So, oh yeah, let me remind you again, shine your light. Shine your light. Give yourself that permission. Give yourself the permission right now. I give myself permission to do exactly what I came here to do. And I don't ask permission. That's why I'm not really all about this, all this, what they talking about on the TV and stuff, because I'm not about to ask for no permission. Oh, I ain't asking for shit. I'm supposed to ask and wait until they say, nah, fuck that. We've been waiting. Let me show you what I'm doing. Fuck that. But yeah, I'm talking to y'all.